What up, y'all? It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and Kyle Santillian. And y'all know by now, man, we got an open door policy around here. You never know who's going to walk in. And today, we got a whole crew in the building,
We let them kick the door down.
We had to keep the door down, hold it open. First and foremost, we haven't talked to this brother in a while, man. Jussie Smollett is here. What's up, bro?
Happy to be here, brother. Happy to be here with y'all. Nice
Haven't
to see
seen you in a minute. It's
That's
good
right.
to see you.
Good to see
we
you.
have reality TV mogul in the building. Miss Mona Scott Young is here.
What up?
And of course, we have super producer. I'm gonna call you super producer
That's
as well.
right.
Is that cool? Is that all right? I've got Miss Tressa Azarel. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. Smallwood in the building. Hey.
And ain't nothing small about it. Okay,
That's right.
the
Is it
That's
Azarel
right.
Smallwood?
That mega mind.
I've been jacking up your name all this time.
okay.
It's all good.
Wait, what did you
Damn,
say, Mona?
I'm such a stickler for names, and I've
Yeah, me too.
transposed her hyphenated last name.
Yeah, come to me. I got you. I'm
So
gonna
it's
help
like
you
saying
out.
Mona
Keep you on
Young
point.
Scott.
You needed help. He talking about he gonna help out.
Yeah, right.
And glad to have you all here, man. You guys have a new project, a new movie coming out called The Lost Holiday.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about it, man. This film is going to push a little buttons, few buttons. So you want to speak on it
It's not
first?
the typical holiday film.
It's
I would
not.
say
And you know
that
what?
much.
The holidays are certainly
A backdrop.
It's a backdrop. It's a backdrop. You know, this film could be seen, any day of the year
Right.
and stand on its own. And, it stars the great Vivica Fox. And
Vivica
Who
A.
is
Fox.
hilarious in
And
this
Janetta.
thing. Yeah.
She is. Have you seen it?
she's
I
incredible.
did see. Oh, did I sneak
yeah.
it? I get
you
it.
saw it?
I saw a little something.
Okay, dope.
I love
Dope.
that.
That's what's up.
I love Vivica FYI, so I was so glad y'all chose her.
She was wonderful. She was the first and only choice. I called her 3 years ago and said, I can't do this film if you don't do it. And she signed on. And then, Tressa and Mona and just everybody just came together.
The village.
And
Yeah.
really like showed up and showed out. So
Yeah.
here we are. So
She
it's
did
a-
a thing.
yeah,
I mean, there was one scene I had left you rubbing your face a little bit. I said, that was great.
Yes, sir. I always get good slaps by great actresses. That's what I do.
That's your signature.
That's my signature, baby.
Yes.
That's
You
what
were
I do.
racist in this film. You was calling her Shaquita. I was like, come on.
She calls her Shanae.
I was like, why are you being
Oh, my
racist towards our own
goodness.
people now?
Is that racist?
Yes.
Is that racist? No.
Stereotypical.
I kind of think that it was because of the hair.
You think
It was
so?
'cause of the hair.
Okay,
That's funny.
okay,
It was 'cause of
okay.
the
I
hair.
was like, you wasn't laying off for her in the beginning.
We all black. It's all good. We all black.
So for the people that have not seen it, didn't get a chance to see it because it does come out at AMC Theatres September 27th. You'll get a chance to check it out.
Yes.
Give them the backstory about what sets the movie up.
Yeah, at the very beginning of the film, we lose one of our main characters, Damien, played by Jabari Red, and his mother, who's been estranged from him for almost a decade, comes to LA to handle his arrangements, and she sees that they are already being handled by her son's husband, who she knew nothing about, and I play the husband. So basically, just through, sadly after his death, she is able to make amends and, learn more about her son in his death than she knew about him in his life.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, even throughout your career, you've always kind of just lived in your truth. You were open about your sexuality and even in the roles that you played. And this seems to be a continuation of that. I'm letting people know that, listen, we're dealing with things in our community just like every other community.
Yes.
And some people are still coming to grips with that, correct?
Sure. There's not some ulterior motive. It's just to show that we are all a lot more alike than not. And I feel like what we've seen is that a lot of people, the amount of audiences since we've been premiering this in Miami and London and Seattle and Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles, what we've seen is that this is undoubtedly a black folks film. This is for us, by us. But everybody somehow connects to this, whether it doesn't matter what your gender, your sexuality, your religion, your race. It all somehow comes together because we can all identify with loss. We can all identify with love or estrangement, forgiveness, grace, all of these things that we want for ourselves and we sometimes fail to give to others,
And the representation of the characters
Yeah.
is so beautifully delivered by the cast, the acting and stuff. Vivica is fantastic. I mean, the way she has embraced the role of Cassandra, it's going to be one of those iconic things that people are quoting and going back to because she's funny, but
hilarious.
she is so authentic in this
Yes.
role. And that's the beauty, I think, of the way Jussie writes, right?
Smollett last name is all over. My mom is an executive producer under my company, a Supermassive Movie. My brother he is just the edit whiz. So whenever I do a film or project, I tend to do a first edit, and then I bring it to him, and he just chops it up, and then I'll be like, all right, you chopped it a little bit too much. And then, you know, it just always ends up being, because he understands my mind, he understands how music runs every single thing that I do and the rhythm of it all. He just understands. Even my niece and my nephew, Journey's son and Jazz's daughter, are on as Nyla, who's my niece. She wants to be a director, and she's on as director in training because she's only 10 years old, but she directed a scene. What? So, and my little nephew is a vanity title. He ain't did nothing. But he's producer in training because he saw that Nyla was, and he's like, I want to be. I'm like, bruh, you just
I'm like, that's my
nepo baby.
Question, because they're family, is it a little harder to get them to work or meet those deadlines, or do they sometimes not take you as serious because you are a brother or uncle?
No, I mean, you have to realize that this has been our family business since I was 4 years old.
Right.
So, of course, I have not been without a job since I was 4 years old. Now, that includes being a waiter, that includes working at Banana Republic and Macy's and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Right. But we've always worked, but that is our family business, so it's never been a thing where no one takes it seriously. We know that when it's time to work. And also, like, I got a company, they get paid. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying?
But even if they didn't get paid, I mean, that's the beauty of what we have, you know, as Black people in community and family, that they hopefully will all roll up their sleeves, you know, to help you accomplish the vision. I was out on tour this summer. I had my daughter out there carrying boxes. I don't know what she thought it was going to be, but baby, we have work to do. And I know, Tressa, you are a family business through and through.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if people know that. The whole Megamind Media.
Yeah.
You know?
Talk about Megamind and how y'all got involved in this.
Yeah, so, you know, Mona brought me to the table. I remember, you know, when Mona calls, you listen. And
Absolutely.
She said, hey, you know, I know you're out there shooting a lot of independent films. Jussie and I are coming back together again. I want you to come meet him. He has an idea. We met. Jussie wanted to film a little bit sooner than Mona and I really wanted to, as far as the business side. Yeah. But we believed in him so much. He kept saying, no, we're shooting soon.
We got to do this now.
And I was like, I don't think we should, but I feel you, and we're going to make it work. And so I think from a business perspective, Mona and I rallied around him. Yeah. And again, when you think about independent filmmaking, we all work with our families. Absolutely. And that was the, you know, the thread between the three of us. Yeah. And we just pulled together all of our resources and made it happen really quickly. But when you look at it, you know, Jussie's talent, nobody would be able to tell that we were able to do this in,
11 days. And we shot it in 11 days.
Yeah, but just from the start of
that's actually true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yep.
It was like probably February that we met, and by June 10th we were filming, and we finished shooting like a week before the SAG after strike started.
Wow.
So, you know, we were very blessed to I'm just blessed and grateful. I have these incredible women, these incredible Black women that have been just holding me up and guiding me through this. And it's just been, you know, Mona's been around since B-Boy Blues, which was my first film a couple of years ago. And Tressa has always been, you know, a huge champion. And just between Tressa and Mona and Vivica and my mom and all of these incredible Black women that are just like, just go, we got you. It's been, that's the reason why this movie is coming out.
Is this the resurgence of Jussie Smollett? Everybody knows the big story. We can't not talk about it.
You could not talk about it. You actually could.
Well, right now, you're facing an appeal. You're facing.
We can't not talk about it, bro.
Come on, Barbara Walters.
But you are facing an appeal right now.
Yes,
and so obviously, like Kyle said, we do know things that are going on. So how does that affect the movie right now? How is that affecting you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I mean, listen, I'm not going to lie to y'all and say that this is not difficult, and this hasn't been difficult, but I've stood by not my truth. I've stood by the truth the entire time, never switched up, never changed my story. Everyone else did. I never did. But like I said earlier, this is the way that I make a living, you know? So this is the way that I support my family, just like this is what y'all do to support yours. So,
and I want to jump in there because, you know, I've heard you talk about supporting your family. That's an important thing, right? But it's also the way you honor your gift, right? You are an incredibly talented actor, writer, director, right? And you've been through stuff in your life. We've all been through stuff in our lives, but it doesn't diminish our gift. Right. And the way we honor our gifts are delivering on them and, you know, stepping into them. And that's where your focus should
And
always
he's such
be.
a
Absolutely.
sweet person.
You know?
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest
Thank
with you
you.
where you went wrong
Thank
when you
you.
call yourself the gay Tupac. That's
But wait a second. No, you know what's so funny?
That was it.
Now let's talk about that,
That was the gay Tupac
Let's
thing.
talk about that.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Talk about that. Because you know what? Let's talk. Because you want to know something? Why y'all get so mad? Ain't nobody said Tupac was gay.
Right.
Ain't nobody said
That's
Tupac
true,
was gay.
that's
true.
The whole thing is I grew up as a huge fan of this man. I was born in the Bay Area. My mom was down with the Black Panthers. I was born in June. I lived in LA. I went from New York to LA, did all of those things.
Show the
I
thug
grew up
life now. Show the
Tupac-
thug life, Tyson. Show the thug life, Tyson.
Did he just throw up a gang
Not
sign?
any way to disrespect Pac. You know what I'm saying? I was saying I got jumped and I'm all right.
Yeah.
That's what that was. So
Yeah.
for anybody that had a problem with it, well, why? It's like I didn't say anything to
didn't,
disrespect
though.
the man. I love
I
Tupac.
thought it was epic.
You know
I
what I'm
liked
saying?
that. I liked it.
So if that's a mistake, okay.
You had to be under an incredible amount of pressure in that time period where everybody was like, "We don't believe you."
Well,
I literally remember being like, "I believe him. He did it."
Well,
blah,
at
blah,
that
blah.
at that point, it still was all good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's something that was said in a time of being uncomfortable. And listen, for anybody that's been through what I've been through, who truly has been through what I've truly been through,
Yeah.
y'all understand that it's not easy to constantly be explaining yourself and having
I
to
know
prove
that's
your own
right.
traumas.
I know that's
You know what I
right.
mean? That's not easy, but. We've turned that in and we've put it into the Lost Holiday coming September 27th. To select theaters.
Yeah, just
One more
channel.
question though. Lee Daniels says he's interested in working with you again. Would you work with Lee Daniels again?
I have said this before. Lee knows that I love him, and and he gave me an opportunity that I'll forever be grateful for. So I mean, I love Lee.
He said y'all text and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I personally care to mediate in public because it's a relationship that I really care about. You know,
Absolutely.
so it's not something that I care to just mediate in public, but it is something. He just had a film come out and it's wonderful, and I have a film coming out September 27th.
I know that's right.
There you go.
Boom.
No doubt.
Listen, these white actors get their redemption all the time and get
That's
to come
right.
back and they do things
For
and
sure.
way worse than whatever people
For
try
sure.
to say you did. From the Charlie Sheens to the let's
Man,
talk
for real.
about it.
But I also don't want to be put in that category because I ain't did this. So can y'all not put me? I mean, no
I'm not
disrespect to nobody,
comparing y'all.
but
I'm not
like.
comparing y'all, but I'm saying these people have actually done things. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
And we just want to make sure everybody gets their chance.
Well, I
I'ma tell
appreciate
you-
you saying that. I
Yes,
won't say that.
yes.
I will say this: I'm glad that you're out, you're doing your thing,
Such
you're
a sweet
continuing
person
to
as
work.
well.
You know what I mean? You've
And
always
investing in himself.
Exactly.
That's one of the
You know
things
what
we
I'm
didn't
saying?
talk about this movie.
That's right.
Not cheap.
That's
It's
right.
not
It's-
cheap.
And this is not a studio movie. This is Jussie putting up his own
and that's
money.
fire. That's fire.
That's
So when you talk
Tressa
about
and Mona
support-
coming and meeting me equally
Yes.
and being like, "What's good? Let's do it." So
Yeah.
I mean, here's what I know. Is that not everybody is a part of my community. But what I know for sure is who is a part of my community.
Yeah.
And I used to pray for humility all the time. I now pray to understand who people actually are. I pray for discernment. You know what I mean? And so for that, I'm so grateful that I have these amazing women in my life. I have an amazing, amazing support system. And I would not be here if it were not for them to be able to publicize the Lost
Yeah.
Holiday coming September 27th.
We
to
all
the theater.
know you in Love and Hip Hop, right? You're not gonna be. Mona, is he gonna be on the next season of Love and Hip Hop or no?
No.
The Lost Holiday, September 27th. We appreciate you all.
We
being here.
need the support. We'd love
Yeah.
people to come out, talk about the movie, spread the word, follow us at the
AMC.
Lost Holiday,
That's right.
Lost Not Last, and 2 L's in Holiday. Yeah,
that's
going
right.
into theaters September 27th.
AMC
Yes.
Theatres.
Yes.
Going in.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you for coming by, stopping by with us and talking to us. this
Appreciate y'all
Thank
so
you
much.
so
Thank you.
much.
We are